What up? This is Scoozy here with a brand new series called, I think I'm going to call it How to Play Minecraft. And that's kind of a strange title because there's a million ways to play Minecraft. So I guess specifically this is going to be how to tackle single player survival. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new world and we'll just play in this maybe just one or two episodes. And we'll call it How to Play Minecraft. We're going to leave it on survival, and all of this stuff we will leave. You can put yourself a bonus chest. I'm not going to this time. It's just a little bit of food, some wood to start off, maybe a tool. We're going to leave cheats off and go ahead and leave this blank for just a random world, and we'll start. So it's going to spawn you into the world, and you basically don't want to waste any time because once it gets dark the first night, bad guys are going to start to appear everywhere. Skeletons, zombies, spiders, and sometimes things that are a little scarier. So it's just going to take a while the first time you load in to just kind of bring everything out. Okay, so it looks like we've spawned here in a jungle. Now what I'm going to do is hit F3, and if you're playing on an Apple, you may need to hit a function key before you hit F3. But as you see, this brings up a bunch of information, and what we're really looking at is on the left-hand side. If you start at the bottom and go up about 5 or 6 lines, you'll see the biome. It's jungle. And then if you go up a few more lines, you'll see X, Y, Z. And those three things there are the coordinates of where you are standing in the given moment. So our X value is 28.5, and our Y is 69 because we're on the top of a tree by the looks of it. And then our Z value is 256. So basically, I just want you to know that that screen is there if you hit F3 because that can be very helpful in trying to find your way around. So we're going to spawn in this location every time we die until we set a new spawn by sleeping in a bed. So we're just going to want to try to explore a little bit, and what you really want to do right away is get some wood, because you're going to use that to build your first couple tools. We have some sort of weird block lag happening right now. I'm kind of confused. Oh, there we go. Third time's a charm. So yeah, you basically are going to get a little bit of wood, and this will be used to build your first couple tools that you're going to use to create your very first shelter. If this see what's happening right now is it's going through and it's creating the world expanding out from where we started. So it's going to take a little while the first time you play. Things are going to lag a bit as your computer is generating all of this stuff for the first time. Once it knows what's there, it won't take nearly as long. So yeah, we're just going to try repeatedly to break a little bit more wood, and then we're going to make a crafting table. So if you put one log into your crafting area in your inventory, which you bring up by hitting the E key, you can make 4 planks. 4 planks, if you right click one into each of the 4 slots, will make a crafting table. And the crafting table is basically the basis of everything you're going to make. There's some things you can do in this little 4x4, just the very, very basics. Everything else you're going to need to use the crafting table, which is a 3x3 square. So we're going to make the rest of this into wood, and then I'm going to show you how to make a couple of the tools that you're going to need to survive your first night. So first of all, the most important is to get some sticks. So you put 2 planks, and they can be in any of these squares as long as they're one on top of the other, and that's all that's happening. You'll get sticks. And then we're going to right click 1, 2 sticks there, and then right click 1, 2, 3 planks and get ourselves a wooden pickaxe. Now the pickaxe is your main tool. That's what you're going to use to dig stone with, and we want to switch over to stone basically as soon as possible. I'm also going to make a shovel, 2 sticks and 1 of those, gives us a shovel. That's what we use to dig dirt. And I'm also going to want potentially an axe. So I'm going to make some more sticks and make that. This is basically like the picture. So you're going to make like 2 sticks, that's the big long handle, and then 3 planks makes the head of the axe, and then boom, you get a wooden axe. That's how Minecraft works. It's all about kind of making a little tiny 9x9 picture of what you're trying to build. So now we have some basic tools here, and I'm going to use the axe to start cutting down a little bit more wood. We're just getting the achievement for grabbing wood, which is pretty funny since we've already grabbed enough to build a bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead, repeatedly chop these blocks. There we are. Pick up our crafting bench. I said pick up the crafting bench. And we're going to go ahead and move on a bit. So we are pretty deep in a jungle right now, which is okay, but when it turns nighttime, it's going to be very hard to see in here, and the bad guys are going to have a very easy time sneaking up on us. So right here we see some pigs, and we're going to want to get those guys if we can. And then they'll drop their pork chops, and that's going to be the beginnings of our food, because if you can see down at the bottom of the screen, there's an item hotbar. You can see me moving through. This is where your quick items can be found. You can cycle through them with the mouse wheel or hit the corresponding number on your keyboard to cycle through them. And above that is a green bar which measures the experience that you've collected, and every time you reach the end, you'll get a new level, and those levels basically come into play later when you go to enchant things. They're not that important early on. Here we are. We found some coal, which we're going to need to make torches, so I'm going to grab some of that. So yeah, above the green bar, which you see is just filled, and now we are at level 1, are some icons. On the right hand side are your food icons, and they will deplete over time as we do stuff like run, mine, etc. And when they start to get too empty, you'll start to lose health, which are indicated by the heart icons on the left side of the screen. So basically, you want your food full as much as you can, because when it's full, you can regenerate your hearts if you lose them. If your food's not full, then your hearts won't replenish, and you could potentially end up dead if you run into some sort of bad guy. So I'm just going to gather this coal here because we are going to need this very soon to make torches, because at nighttime you're going to want some torches to see. I'm also going to go ahead and grab as much of this stone as I can, and you can see as I mine it with my pick, it turns from this nice smooth stone into this kind of rougher, what's called cobblestone. And yeah, there's basically no way to avoid that in the beginning. Eventually you can get an enchantment on your pickaxe that will keep it in its smoother, in my opinion, nicer looking form. But the cobblestone definitely has its place, and you can turn cobblestone into the smooth stone again if you bake it in a furnace. So this cave actually might be a good place to stay for our first night, because we can block it off and remain safe. So I'm going to throw down our crafting table, and I'm going to turn this oak wood here into some planks, and turn the oak wood planks into a couple more sticks, and then I'm going to add the coal and turn those into torches. So see that? It's just basically coal above sticks, and then you get torches. And these torches, you can right click them in place on the walls and basically light up areas so that you can see. Also, the lighter an area is, the less chance there is that a bad guy will spawn there. And to determine exactly how bright something is, you can look on your F3 screen again. About the 4th line up on the left hand side is it says light, 10. 5 is from the sky, and 10 is from the block. The block light is what you really want to look at because that will be the same whether it's daytime or nighttime outside. So as long as that number is 7 or is 8 or above, then no bad guys will appear on that block. Okay, so if I just kind of walk around here, we're at 11, 12, 13, 14, just like that. Okay, so now in this direct area that we have just near the entrance to our cave, everything is bright enough that nothing will spawn. Now what I'm going to do is block off this area here because at nighttime bad guys will be able to come in through here and we don't want that. I'm going to break these leaves and there we are. Notice now that the light level has dropped down to 6 and 7 because we blocked off a lot of the sunlight. So there we go. We'll throw down a torch. Everything is bright again. Check over here. It looks a little dark. And you know, you're going to end up finding a lot of coal when you play Minecraft. So make sure you put down more torches than you think you'll need. And now what I'm going to do is make some more sticks and make myself a couple of stone pickaxes because they are a little faster and a little better at mining than the wooden ones are. And on your first day, as much time as you can save, you should, because you have a lot to do. I mean, you start out with nothing. So I'm just going to dig a bit more stone here so that I can block off the outside world where all the dangers will be once nighttime comes. Yeah, so you're just going to keep doing this, mining a little bit of stone, and that's basically Minecraft. You're going to take blocks from where you find them, and sometimes you'll alter them or combine them with other blocks to make new things, and then you're placing them somewhere else in the world. And it sounds very simple, and in a way it is, but it's what makes it the greatest game. It's totally free. You do exactly what you want to do, and like I said, this is survival mode, but you can play in what's called creative mode and not have any enemies to worry about at all, and have full access to any block that you could possibly get in the game right at your fingertips, and then you can do whatever you want, and that's a lot of fun sometimes. You know, whether that's the way you want to play like all the time, or if you want to use that kind of a creative experience to figure out what you'd like to do when you're playing in survival. Either way, it's just fantastic that you have either option. And yeah, there's no limitations really, except for the fact that you can really only use the blocks that the game gives you, but there's a lot. There's a very big variety. Okay, so now that we have ourselves kind of blocked in here, we're nice and safe. We're going to get a bit more wood, because you always need some wood. It's one of the most valuable of the resources, I would say. Stone is important, but wood, you can use that for just about anything. You can't use stone for fuel. But wood you can make tools out of, so if you ever have the choice, keep the wood. I'm going to go ahead and see how much of this tree we can chop down. Okay, so we got 8 more logs. I'm going to come back inside here and use our crafting bench to turn some more of this into planks. And we're going to make a door for our little tiny cave. So that's how you do that. 6 like that, it makes like basically the rectangular shape of a door. And then you can see it here. You'll get 3 doors for that, which is a pretty good deal. We only need 1 at the moment, but we can keep the other 2. Now what's interesting is the type of door you get, like the visual appearance is dependent on the type of wood that you make it out of. So this is a jungle door, and the oak door has just a completely different look, which is just something neat. because Minecraft really is about like making the choices. Like what do you want your place to look like? Um, and you'll often hear people refer to their base, and that's basically just like what we've built here. This is our starting base. This is our home sweet home. We'll put a torch above the door to mark it from the outside. That's like the little light on that shows that we're here. And then we'll place a door, and voila, we are now basically safe. If we came far enough down here, we may run back into dark areas. And oh no, there's just a dead end down here. So we'll put a couple more torches, and yeah, nothing is going to spawn down here or appear, and nothing can get in from the outside. So we will be safe here when our first nighttime comes. So now what I want to do is the next step is to make a couple chests. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 planks into all of the outside squares of our crafting table, leaving the center spot open, and that will make 1 chest, 2 chests. And then you put them in your hotbar, they'll stack on top of each other, and then we'll select them, and then we will place our 2 chests. And then in this chest, we can store things that we don't need to carry with us, but we still want to keep, like these extra doors, maybe this wooden pickaxe, and yeah, any more resources that we go out and collect in a moment. Now, we're also going to need a furnace to cook our pork chops in so that we don't get sick from eating them. And we can put those in there, and we'll need fuel. We have 1 piece of coal left, so we'll throw that in there. We can also use wood or like this wooden pickaxe that we'll probably never use again. It can be used as a fuel as well. And so now we have some food cooking for when we get hungry. I'm going to turn this F3 screen off. Sorry, I probably should have done that a long time ago. And let's go outside, and actually before we do that, let's make ourselves a stone axe, because stone tools are significantly better than wooden tools. Usually I won't even make any wooden tools besides the pickaxe that you need to get stone, because they're really not useful. So we'll make some more sticks, make the handle for our axe, and then it's the exact same as the wooden axe, but this time we use cobblestone. Stone axe is made, and we can put our wooden axe into that furnace when the wooden pick is burned. So let's go outside now, and we're gonna go and try to get some more wood. I have some dirt here. I'm gonna look down, jump, and place the blocks to gain some height. Now that's called pillaring up, and it's a very, very important Minecraft skill to reach things that are a little too high for you. So yeah, now that we're up high, we can cut out the rest of the tree, and once you have the entire tree trunk cut from a tree, the leaves will start to disappear. They'll slowly like vanish one by one, and they will drop sometimes saplings, which are like little tiny versions of the tree that you can then replant to grow a new one. And if it's like an oak tree or a dark oak tree, you'll also get a chance for apples to fall out. Like this here is an oak tree. Oh wait, maybe not. I think it might be just a small jungle tree. But yeah, so I'm going to cut up a bunch of wood. I'm going to run around and collect it, and then when nighttime comes, we're going to hide out inside of our new base where it's nice and safe. We'll have pork chops to eat, and we'll go about building some stuff, and maybe do like a bit of mining. And yeah, that'll basically round out what should be your first day when you survive Minecraft. Now, one tip that I would give you that I haven't really mentioned yet is initially you should try to stay fairly close to where you first spawned in. Now, the reason for that is if you were to die right now, you're going to respawn where you did the first time. And since we are very close to there, it would be fairly easy for us to find this spot again and not lose out on the progress of the things that we've built, right? Like once these chests start to get full, you're not going to want to lose that stuff. So initially, you stay fairly close to your home, and once you get a bit established and you found some wool, you can make a bed. And what the bed will let you do is when you sleep in it, it will set a new spawn point. So at that point, you can adventure off and try to find like a location where you actually want to live, if this weren't it. I kind of like this spot a little bit, so for the purposes of this series, we're going to stay close to here and build all of our stuff. But just know that like if you run far, far away on the first day, collect a bunch of stuff, and then die, it could be very tough for you to get back to that spot. And if you do get back to that spot, hopefully you've done it fast enough that all of your items are still there. So yeah, this is a little bit of an advice for the newbie player, the beginner. So as you can see, it's starting to get nighttime now, which means that very soon the vicinity is going to start to fill up with bad guys. Skeletons will shoot at us, zombies will chase us, and spiders will come try to creep us out. And oh yeah, don't forget the creepers. They're the big walking cactus-like things that sneak up behind you and then explode. Yeah, they blow up, which hurts you a lot and can destroy all of your work. See those glowing red eyes over there? I don't know if you... Ah, there they are. Do you see them? That's a spider. You don't want to mess with those guys yet. We have no armor, no weapon. We should go inside. Okay, so inside you have a couple of options here. You can work on mining, which can be helpful. You can eventually find some iron if you dig long enough. If you go really deep, then you can get to things like diamonds. You can also find gold, redstone, which is how to explain redstone. It's one of the ores that's used in the more technical side of this game. There are all kinds of like machine components and different like tools that you can use if you're trying to like automate things. Yeah, the game can be as complex as you want it to be or as simple as you want it to be, and redstone is part of the complex half of it. I might do kind of a parallel series to this one, where I talk about the basics of redstone and the things that I've learned about it since I started playing, because it's just crazy. The things that you can do with it are very, very, very cool. Yeah. So, anyways, mining, collecting some stone, filling your resource box, anything you can do inside your on your first night is great, because like I said, you don't have any armor and you don't want to have to fight any enemies without armor, because they'll do a lot of damage and you will quite likely die. So what I'm going to do here is start our mine. This is gravel. You want to watch out for that stuff. If it lands on you, see how it falls? If it lands on you, you can suffocate, so you just got to be careful. And that brings me to my first kind of advice about mining, is never dig straight down directly below you. And there are a couple reasons for this. In Minecraft, there are, as in the real world, there are many, many, many caves underground. And if you were to be unfortunate enough to dig through what is the roof of a cave, you're going to fall. And that can cause you quite a bit of pain. Early on in this game, without armor, you could probably die. You'll take so much damage. And the other reason is Minecraft also contains a lot of lava. And just like the cave, if you're to dig out the last block between you and the lava, you're going to fall in and have a very terrible day. So you never want to dig straight down. So there are two methods. You can kind of do this staircase method, like you see me doing now, where I'm digging ahead of me and going down one block at a time, making sure you're putting your torches at regular intervals so that no bad guys can spawn down here from it being too dark. So that's one way, and you know, it's the best way because then your way up is super easy. You just jump back up the stairs this opposite way you came down. The other method is to be in an area like this that is too wide and stand right on the center gap, just like this. Now, if I dig, I'm not going to fall. If I dig, I'm not going to fall. So see, basically what happens is you're going to stay on whichever of the two blocks is higher. And so if that was lava, I wouldn't fall. If that was a cave, I wouldn't fall. See? Keeps you nice and safe. Now, aside from being safe, one of the benefits of this method is that you can get down to the bottom very, very fast. And what I mean by the bottom, if you look here on your trusty F3 screen, the center value of the XYZ, which is your Y, it is going down every time we go down a layer, which I guess should be pretty obvious. But what that means is that I am only 34 blocks above the absolute bottom, and at about 4 or 5 blocks, bedrock starts to appear, and you can't dig through that. So basically, right now, I'm about 25 to 28 blocks above the very bottom of the world, which is very fast to get down here. And we found some iron, which is great. So we're going to dig the iron up because this stuff will make even better tools than stone tools. And eventually, once we have enough of this, we can make our first set of armor out of iron too. There is also leather armor, but sometimes the amount of cows that you need to find to get enough leather to make a full set of leather armor, it's just easier to find iron. So yeah, we have 7 iron right now, and right now it's called iron ore. It's stuck in the rock, and to make it usable, we have to make ingots. And to make ingots, we will go back upstairs after we've dug down here a bit, and we will use the furnace and cook the iron ore, and it'll melt out the ingots, and then we can use those ingots to build tools, iron tools. Now, the different tiers. Oh, look at all this iron. This is fantastic. So this is kind of like a pro tip. Like on your first night, you don't want to be outside. You know, it's hard to survive. You could build a little house above ground and hide out in it, but that's kind of almost like a waste of your time. If you dig your first starter base, first night house, into a cliffside or under the ground and block yourself off from the outside world, light it up so that mobs can't spawn, you can spend your entire first night being super productive and digging, finding all kinds of iron like we are right now, and then on your second day, you're set. You're ready to go. You can go explore, and it's quite amazing. Another important reason to get iron so quickly like we are doing right now is so that you can make a pair of shears. I know you might be thinking, why are shears important? And I'll tell you, sheep are sometimes extremely common. You can find them like just about anywhere, but occasionally they're hard to find. Like we're in a jungle now, and it will be pretty tricky to find sheep without traveling quite a ways. Now, sheep are important because you need their wool in order to make a bed and set your spawn, like we talked about earlier. So every time you kill a sheep, you can get 1, sometimes 2 wool, which is great, but then your sheep is dead. With the shears, you can just take the wool and then wait for the sheep to grow their wool back, which does not take very long at all. And once it grows it back, you can do it again and again. So if you find 1 sheep, you can then get enough wool to make your bed, which is, you know, just kind of like another little tip. The first time I played, I definitely was killing the sheep to get the wool and having a hard time, you know, making a bed and setting myself a spawn point. And I kept losing my initial bases that I was building, and I'm sure if I went back now and looked for them, I could find 3 or 4 different spots where I tried to start up and just kept losing them until I made my first bed. And now this is definitely the way that I would do it. So as you can see now, we're down at Y level 9, which is extremely low. We're down below where lava spawns, so we need to be very careful to make sure that every block that we dig, we're not putting ourselves in danger of lava. And we found some redstone, which is great. This redstone isn't going to be very useful to us right now, and I don't actually think we can dig it up with a stone tool. I think we need an iron pickaxe. Anyways, back to diamonds. Diamonds will spawn around lava level, and they're more than just a pretty stone in Minecraft. They make the best tools and the best armor. They have a great durability, so that you don't have to repair them as often or replace them because they've broke. And they start spawning around y equals 11. So this is y equals 10. If we were to dig here out in all different directions, you could very likely find diamonds just sticking in the walls. It's just amazing. The thing is, though, with the diamonds, you need a metal pick to dig them out, and right now we have no pick. But we do have 28 iron ore, so what I'm going to do is look down and then jump up as I place blocks to pillar all the way back up, to where our little starter base is. Okay, we're going to switch sides now. This way I don't have to take down any of my torches. Yeah, almost back up to the top. Well, almost up to our staircase. And then we'll climb the stairs and put our iron in the furnace, which is up here. I'm going to turn off that F3 screen again. Okay, so up here in the furnace we'll have our food, which is cooked. That's great. We have some iron ore, which we're going to put in there, and there it just burned up our pickaxe. And now we can put in our shovel, or our normal axe, and then we'll throw in our shovel. We don't want any more wooden tools. We're going straight to iron. So actually for our shovel we can just use a stone one for now. We don't use the shovel super often yet. And then in our chest we can put away this andesite, some cobblestone, some diorite, and we'll store half the coal. The other half we're going to stock our furnace with once we've burnt all our wooden tools. And this is just being super efficient, burning all of our initial items. We'll put away the granite, and this flint here that you get from shoveling gravel will be used to make arrows when the time comes. So we're definitely going to want to hold on to that. And here you can see the iron ingots. Now, when you smelt iron in the furnace and then take them out, you will get some experience, which is kind of exciting. It's a good way to get levels. Still nighttime out, as you can see. We definitely do not want to go out there. It's quite dangerous. And if you don't want to take my word for it, feel free in your world to go out there on the first night. But don't say I didn't warn you. So now I'm going to grab a little bit of wood. And we're going to make some sticks. Put that back. And use 2 of our sticks. Oops. And these 3 iron ingots. And make ourselves our first iron pickaxe, which is fantastic. This will work so much better than the stone. And like a bazillion times better than the wood. I'll give you a little demo right here. So much faster than the stone. It's amazing. And you'll be surprised how much faster diamond can be than that when the time comes. Okay, so we'll grab a few more iron as it's cooking, and we're going to make an iron axe for when our stone axe breaks. So we'll just line it up there so we know we have it. and we should make a backup pickaxe, because when you're first starting out, you're going to do a lot of mining and your tools are going to break frequently. And with an iron pickaxe, you know, 3 iron to make an iron pickaxe, it's just better to make new ones than repair them. Once you get into your enchanted gear, that's when you want to worry about repairing stuff. And yeah, now we can start collecting iron to make our armor. So we have 4 now, so we're gonna make a pair of boots. And Minecraft armor is funny. So this is these are the boots. See that? That's where you want one for each foot, right? Yeah, that looks like boots, right? Anyways, we'll take those out. Open up our inventory and then put them right here. These are your armor slots. So you have your head, your torso, your legs, and your feet. We'll put on iron boots. They give us +2 armor. Pretty sweet. Now I'm going to show you a little trick here. If you push the F3 key, and I believe, I think it's T. So we'll do F3 and T. No, is it G? Okay, I'm back. So yeah, it's F3 and H. Advanced tooltips hidden, advanced tooltips shown. So you want to set it to shown. And then when you look at something like your armor, or your pickaxe, we'll use the pickaxe here. And you'll see the durability where it says 242 of 250. And that's how much more damage it can take before it breaks. The reason we can't see it on the armor here is because it's not damaged at all. So that's kind of neat. I always turn that on when I'm playing to make sure that I can see that. And then you just don't get surprised. So that's about it. It's daytime again. So what I would do on my first day is run out there and grab some more wood, try to grab any resources that I don't have, anything you come across, and probably get some more food on the go. So that's what we'll do in the next episode, is try to work on starting getting a food supply, because food becomes very important in this game. The more you're running around doing stuff, the more you'll need to eat it. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this first episode of How to Play Minecraft. I hope it helped you out. If you're completely new to the game, this is what you need to do. Obviously, if you're not new to the game, you don't need anything that was in this episode, and I'm sorry that I just bored you. But if you are new to the game, this is valuable information. And I'm glad you came around, and I hope you got something great out of it. So yeah, next time we'll work on getting our food supply on lockdown, and yeah, we'll go over what you should be doing on your next couple days in Minecraft. All right, thanks again for coming by, and we'll see you again next time. Bye!